A few weeks ago, the movie adaptation of Jojo Mace's book was released, and since then it has been the source of many controversial discussions. For some teenagers, it may be seen as just another romantic drama, but in reality, it holds more important topic, which is the end-of-life care. With the progress of medicine, the average American life is around 79 years. However, this population aging is also linked to an increase of chronic diseases and severe handicaps. It has been realized that curing isn't always possible, which is why a new care approach has been created. My purpose of this speech is to inform my audience about the reality of end-of-life care in the United States. Death belongs to the cycle of life. It is inevitable. Therefore, we will all someday face the reality of end-of-life care. Sharing knowledge about this topic could help in improving its quality. More care and dedication should be accorded to the improvement of end-of-life care from both a cost perspective and a quality perspective. I will discuss what end-of-life care is, its limits and obstacles in the US, and ways action can be taken in order to improve end-of-life care in the United States. However, to start off, I will explain the concepts and history of end-of-life care. End-of-life care is support for people who are in the last months or years of their life. Hospice movement history. Dr. Cicely Saunders is the protagonist of the hospice movement. She opened a hospital in London in the 70s where she first applied her end-of-life care concepts. She believes that when a disease is incurable, all the focus should be towards the quality of the patient's life, the control of his illness symptoms, and quality of his family's life. Hospice is caring, not curing. Hospice movement in the United States. In 1963, Florence Wald, the Dean of School of Nursing at Yale University, invited Dr. Cicely Saunders from London to give a series of lectures on hospice care. According to Stephen Connor, Dr. Cicely Saunders, the matriarch of the worldwide hospice movement, clearly had an impact, as shortly after her visit and lecture series, the first hospice in the United States opened in Branford, Connecticut in 1973. Today, the National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization reports that hospice can be provided in a patient's home. Care can also be provided in freestanding hospice centers, hospitals, and nursing homes or other long-term facilities. Hospice services, which include care management for all aspects of the patients, include family support as well. Palliative care. The World Health Organization defines palliative care as an approach that improves the quality of life of patients and their families facing the problems associated with life-threatening illness, through the prevention and relief of suffering by means of early identification and impeccable assessment and treatment of pain and other problems, physical, psychological, and spiritual. According to the NHPSO, palliative care extends the principles of hospice to a broader population that could benefit from receiving this type of care earlier in their disease process. Palliative care ideally would see into the hospice care as the illness progress. Wesseman, Breyer, and Spargens report that palliative care programs are rapidly becoming the norm in American hospitals, with more than 70% of large hospitals reporting the presence of a program in the American Hospitals Association 2006 Annual Hospital Survey. On the other hand, I will discuss how these concepts are facing obstacles in the United States. Hospice and palliative care are facing many issues in the United States, and they are mainly geographical problems. Geography plays a role in end-of-life care. McKinney points out that for patients with advanced cancer, the likelihood will they spend their last days in hospital intensive care unit depends largely on where they live and which hospital they seek care in. Another factor that cannot be overlooked is that many of these future older Americans will originate from the ethnic and racial minority groups. Therefore, end-of-life care must include assessment and understanding of the care for these culturally diverse groups. However, I will talk about ways anyone could take actions in order to improve this situation. Unless we take personal and political actions today, we will not be able to afford to die with dignity in the future. Interactions between politicians and healthcare professionals, especially those involved in hospice and palliative care, must accelerate. Professionals in these fields should continue strong advocacy efforts to let the political world know what they do and what promises they make in order to improve the quality of life. Finally, end-of-life care is a concept designed in order to improve the quality of life who are in the last years or months of their life. However, this concept is facing issues in the United States that remain unsolved as a result of an inability of a nation and its people. Everyone will someday live the last month or days of his life. We should therefore raise awareness and encourage research and progress towards end-of-life care.